Hi guys, welcome back. How are you guys? I'm about to do what I love to do in this little table that I have right here, and I'm going to do some acrylic nails for myself. I removed the burgundy ones that I had because I had a major task to do in the kitchen and I couldn't clean the stove, the kitchen, and everything with those nails. So the good thing I put them on and I remove them whenever I want to. I get to change the sets thanks to my knowledge. And I'm gonna do an acrylic set while I talk to you guys. How are you? I think I'm going to move this because it's, let me see if the light helps. Um, yeah, there. Yeah, I can. You guys can see me better, I guess. And also, let me remove this. I was listening to music. I'm a music lover. There you go. Those are my earbuds. And I was listening to music. Excuse my voice. I'm getting better from a flu. I put I had the flu shot last week and I end up getting flu at the end. Never happened before, so I guess there's always a first time for everything. So I'm getting better. Doesn't hurt, it's just my voice. But excuse my voice. I wanted to chit chat. It's very quiet here, so why not chit chat? So I was telling you, for those of you guys who saw my Insta post, I end up at the ER. I guess I have a serious reaction to the flu shot. There's no other way. We had to put it that way. That's what my doctor says. I'm sorry I'm moving you guys. So sorry. Okay, that's better. And I went to the ER. And at the ER, they treat me really, really good. They kept me for about 6 hours and then they stabilized my blood pressure. I woke up with a big, big case of vertigo. I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't even dial a phone number. And I try to calm down. So I end up going to the ER and that's what you guys saw. I didn't want to scare anybody, so thank you so much for those of you guys who are asking for my condition. I'm doing way better. I try to respond your DMs. I mean, some of you guys are close friends to me, so I answer that, and those of you guys will saw it on the post. How are you guys? I'm getting better. Yesterday I went to my doctor and the doctor just says just to keep an eye on my blood pressure, so I had to take it twice a day, and so far it's good. So we're gonna keep it that way. For this set, I'm going to use my acrylics. I did this ones on my own. It's a pinkish color with a little bit of, I dropped some of it, very, very little bit. And I'm so lucky that it got on the cap, so I did not make a mess. But yes, it's kind of like a pinkish color with some gold dust in there, and then this like kind of like this shiny stuff, because you guys know I like shiny. So that's gonna be my set for today. Let's see. That's better. I'm gonna have you take a look at what I'm gonna be using. It's really simple, okay? My equipment is really simple. I have two brushes. I'm using the size 16, so it's pretty huge, so I can do them faster. This one is the powder. I'm gonna open it so you guys can see it. I have my cup for the monomer, which is the nail liquid. That's the one that smells super good. I like that smell, you guys. Then I have a buffer, some nail glue that is used for my diamonds, and I have my plate over here with the diamonds. Of course, it's not what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using way more than this. And those are the nails that I already measured, that I know that they're going to be good for my nail size. And I have the nail clip for the cuticle, and then cuticle pushers, some scissors because I'm going to be shaping this as coffin. I don't like square nails, so I'm going to be doing the coffin ones. Some nail primer, which is called Extra Bond, and at the side I put nail primer so they don't lift. And then I have two different files, and that's basically it. And so I have acetone. This is what I use to clean my brushes, to dissolve any hard acrylic that dries on the brushes. So I'm gonna start by filing my nails. What I want to do is just remove all the shiny of my natural nails, so the acrylic stays on the nail and there's no lifting. This part is super super important. I'm gonna start by doing that, leaving it completely without shine so I can start gluing my nails. I'm gonna do a vlog for you guys today because I was doing so many errands and I wanted you to have a day with me, but you know, things come out of nowhere. And my folks have COVID in California. I'm kind of sad, you guys, because mom, dad, and all my brothers they came out positive. My brothers are positive, and I'm just keeping an eye on them. And today I went to the stores to get all these cleansing supplies for my mama. I'm gonna be shipping this to California so she can disinfect the house, because she's telling me there's no Lysol and there's no way she's gonna go to the stores the way she's feeling it right now. So I did some shopping and I'm helping as much as I can. And I'm kind of sad, you guys. It's decide to chit chat with you guys about a paranormal story. So this story happens to me when I was 8. I put it on Spanish a long time ago, but I'm gonna put it for you, my beautiful, beautiful friends, because I have a lot of followers who don't speak Spanish. I'm so glad to teach you. You know, it's pretty fun. This story has to do with dolls. You know, I was the only girl in my house back then. I was 8 years old, and I was staying at our new place. So my mom was a single mom. I was 8. My brother was 5, and my grandma came to live with us. I was raised by these two beautiful ladies. By the house there was a cemetery. There's still a cemetery. You could see the cemetery through my room window because there was no fence, nothing that would cover that so you could see it. And this is the first time that I start having all this stuff going on. So one night, I swear this cup just jumped. Okay, I'm gonna touch you. I'm gonna touch you. Be nice. Oh my God. I'm talking to you guys and these things just crack. I am not making this up. I have my card decks in here. I have my, oh my God. And it was empty. It was empty because this is the one with the liquid. And this was completely empty. I'm so glad to cut this on camera, because if you're lucky, you're gonna start seeing orbs. When I started having paranormal things, and there was an orb, I was 8 years old, and I went with my mom and one of her friends to the swimming pools. And I used to know how to swim. Okay, and I remember that we had a big um, beach ball, and they were playing with it. I didn't know the swimming pool was like that, okay, because we rarely went out. My mom was always busy, and for reals, my grandma couldn't take us anywhere fun, so I was raised in my house and stayed in my house. I was an indoor girl, didn't know nothing better. So my mom took us to the swimming pool, and we were playing right there when they threw the ball and it went to the deep side. To me, it was like nothing. I decided to went and get it, and I went to the deep area. My mom didn't know I was drowning. So one of the workers from the hotel saved me. He was my life savior. Since then, I stopped swimming. I stopped going to swimming pools because I freaked out. Um, since then, I started having all these episodes. My mom was a pharmacy rep. She was very lucky to get this house on her own, and she was hardly ever seen. So I remember one night I was playing with my dolls around 9 p.m. In Mazatlan, Mexico. On summer, it tends to rain, and it tends to rain like the horror movies with thunder, lightning, and the power goes off, and it's very hot. So, what I did is, because it was summer, I went to sleep. You guys see the window back there? Well, the head of the bed was the same, and I opened the window because it was really steamy right there. So I put all my dolls away, and I remember that I went to sleep, and around 3 4 a.m. I woke up because I felt like water was coming through the window, so I was getting dots on my head. I was getting wet, and what I did was I just lift my hand and I tried to close the window. I couldn't because it was way higher. So when I wake up, I take a look up. There's the curtain, like the one you see right there. So it was a curtain that I'm going to describe. It was from one side, the way it's looking from the bottom, and then the front one was kind of like this. Kind of like when you grab a shirt and you rip it, and then you see kind of like chains. Okay, the one on front was like that. And right there were three of my dolls. One tied by the head, the other one tied by the arms, and the other one tied by, I believe it was a leg, and they were completely naked and they were missing parts. What happened next is I sit on my bed, I take a look around with all these thunders and stuff, and I see all my dolls and all my toys destroyed with such violence, you guys. It's like somebody just came and started ripping them. It was very disturbing. And I started crying. I went to my grandma. You guys don't have an idea how many times I left, and I felt so guilty for leaving my little brother behind. But he never felt anything. So I went to her room. She came back, prayed with me, put me back to bed. I cried myself to sleep, and in the morning when I wake up, everything was the same. It couldn't be my nana, because of course I will feel if somebody gets on top of the bed, and I will wake me up. It couldn't be my brother, because my brother was very little. Like I said, he was 5. And to these days, we don't know what happened. So the next day I woke up, I go to school. My grandma has all my uniform and everything for me. And when I come back from the school around 2 p.m., I walk in my room, and there's one of my uncles and my grandma talking about how to remove the curtains and how to, dispose the dolls. So they put them on a big plastic bag, and I just remember he told my uncle to go and throw it away or to bury it, something like that. So that's how I stopped playing with dolls. So lucky to say that I had 2 boys, and that I didn't have to buy any dolls for them. Because at the beginning, I was so excited when I find out that I was pregnant, of course. But then I was thinking like, okay, I'm going to have a baby girl. And everything was fine until they told me, one of my friends, yes, you're going to have a baby girl, so I can buy her dolls and she can play with them, and maybe you can have a little stand for all her stuff. And I remember that, and I just shivering. I was having goosebumps, and I said, oh no. So I guess I did my own luck, my own cursing when I said, oh no, no girls, and I end up having only boys. What happens right now with this cup, like I said, I have no idea, but I have it right here, and it's kind of like weird. So that's how it is. with me, it is weird. So I was so happy to have my story published by one of these famous YouTubers. He does paranormal stories, and I decided to write him, and he answered me, and he told me if he could post my story. I said, of course. That's why I told you you can use it if you want. And it's right there on this. It's called Historias Paranormales. It's a Spanish channel, and I send it to an English channel too. So hopefully they put it probably on Mr. Creepy. Or okay, so far I glue my nails, and what I'm doing is I'm gonna cut the sides so I can kind of like shape them. I had DMs when they said, you said chicas, but we are chicos. I'm sorry, loves. I'm so used to say chicas, and amores is unisex, so I could say boys and girls. So, okay. For those of you boys who don't know, coffin tends to look like a ballerina shoe. So I cut the sides and then I file like this so it kind of relate like a ballerina shoe. I like them that way. I don't like the square ones because I think I can close my hand better, and I can, I don't know, it's my thing. I think I can, there goes the north. I can text faster. So that was one story for you guys, but I have another one for you guys. So today is paranormal. So get ready. Go grab a coffee because this is about to get better. I was dating my next door neighbor behind my mama's back because he was older than me, and my mom didn't like that. But he was pretty nice. He didn't look older, so it's okay. And I was having paranormal stuff also on the apartment. So what happens, I have my two little brothers who stay in my mom's room, and me and my brother will share the other room. So there was a school next to us where I did my medical assistant. I'm talking about Northwest College in California, West Covina. So it was very common for me to go to the house and sometimes have lunch, come back, go grab a book that I forgot and come back. So whatever my friends needed, they run to my house and then we come back to class. So my mom started hearing noises. She had one of her best friends at the house, and both of them thought that I was there for lunch. So they started talking to me. They started hearing stuff at my room and my mom goes and check, and the door just closed on her face. So of course she opened the door. There was nothing was missing, everything was in place, and she just started freaking out. I didn't have a cell phone back there, you guys, or else she would be calling me and calling me. But yeah, she started freaking out. So one night I didn't have a bed. I was bedless. My little brother, or my brother, I'm sorry, was sleeping next to me on a sofa, and I was on the carpet. And I remember it was winter, and I was covered like a burrito on this big blanket, and I started hearing noises. I wake up to some noises around 2:30 because that's the time my boyfriend came back from his security job, and I will wait for him. So I was listening to the noise, not knowing what it was, and it was pretty funny, you guys. I was on the carpet, and I would hear like somebody was jumping, like little jumps on the carpet like this. It will go, it will come back, and whenever it come close to me, I felt like goosebumps. I was like getting tense, and it will go away and come back. My brother was just next to me on the sofa bed, and it will go under the sofa bed, and it will go like this to the legs, like to the metal legs of the sofa, like, and then come back. Come in. I'll sign it and I give it back. Thank you. My eldest. I don't like to tell my kids stuff like that. They know, so I had to stop the video. So see, it's looking way better. So it will do that noise, go under the sofa, kind of like scratch it, and then come back again, doing the noise like. And then it went to the freaking closet and start messing around with the hangers. So it will go like, and messing around with the hangers, and then come back. I didn't know what was going on, you guys. I paralyzed. I was petrified. Next thing I know, everything is quiet. This is the time that I used to roll out of my burrito big blanket, and I hit something that I thought that it was my brother. He had the size of my brother. It was completely cold, and all of a sudden it started breathing. Like, oh my God, you guys, I shit in my pants. I didn't know what to do. I freaked out. And I started moving like this. Because I thought, okay, maybe somebody break in. It's not my brother, because at the same time, seconds later, Alan on my left side started moving himself, making noise. Definitely he cannot listen to this. He avoids the movies, I have another story why he avoids all this. So what happened, I start moving away from it. My brother starts moving himself, making noise. So that's how I find out it's not my brother. The noises start getting louder and louder. So I start listening to the jumping again. I start listening to the hangers again. I start listening to stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I feel like something is running to me, stops, and jumps and lands on my chest like this. In that moment, my boyfriend was outside. I opened the window and I screamed his name so loud. I'm so glad my mom did not hear me, because she didn't know about us. And he came to my window, removed the screen. He had his light. He started going through everything. We wake up my brother. There was nothing, you guys. Nothing. He was from Argentina, so his explanation was, they're leprechauns. And I said, no, they're not. They're leprechauns. And they're here because you have little brothers. And they're here because they know you sense them. They cannot go over there because your brothers don't sleep by themselves. That's why they're here. Based on everything you're telling me, they're leprechauns because I know stories since I was a little boy. And I was like, so freaking out, you guys. So freaking out. I never see a thing. Never. I only see one thing once. And that was pretty odd. I was calling my mom. We have, those phones on the wall. So I was calling my mom to her job because I used to babysit my brothers. And I had to tell my mom something after that episode. And it was completely out of nowhere that I moved my head, and like 6-7 steps from me, there's a dog. Not an ugly dog, not an evil dog, just a normal dog. Oh my God, I'm telling you, and I have goosebumps. And he just went into the rooms. I don't know if he went to my mom's or mine, and he disappeared. And I told my mom on the phone, don't freak out, but there's a dog in the living room, and he went to one of us rooms. There was no dog. And she still freaked out. Another occasion, in the same apartment, my family was watching a movie. I was on my room already. And all of a sudden, I hear my mom scream. I went to see what happened, and my dad and my mom are moving the fridge. She says, there's something behind the fridge. We were watching a movie, and something came by the TV and it ran all the way to the fridge. She says, there's no mice. It's not a mice because it was bigger than a mice. And there's not a rat because it didn't look like a rat. So there, the two of them moving the fridge, they didn't find anything. Another occasion, my sister Kiki was 2 years old, and she, out of nowhere, will come out of the room, and I guess she was looking for food or something, I don't know. So she will wake up from her bed, get out of the room, and my mom will have to come and get her and put her back in bed 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So we have a toilet by the kitchen, and there was the toilet and the sink. She was two, really, really little, and my mom was looking for her. When she saw that the light was on, she opened the restroom to find my sister inside the sink with her legs hanging. She broke her head. She's like, there's no way Kiki got herself on the sink, and there's no way my stomach's making noises that Kiki will jump from the toilet because they're separated. And the stories continue. I married, we moved to our little place, and I had my son Ethan. Okay, listen to this. When you guys go on yard sales and buy yourself stuff, especially toys, listen to this. I used to decorate Ethan's room with Sesame Street. I like Elmo. I like all the characters from Sesame Street. One day, I went to a yard sale, and I don't know if it was my mom or we got him a big, huge Elmo for $2. I remember that very well. Very, very cute. It was used, but it was in excellent conditions. So Elmo goes home with us, and it was Ethan's birthday, like a week later. And of course, the theme, you guys guess, was Elmo. So Ethan gets a nice, car, the one that you can use to push yourself when you're learning to walk. And one night, I remember I always remove my earrings when I go to sleep. So one night, we went to sleep. We were living in a puente, and the toys were in the living room. Ethan has his own room, a little tiny room next to mine, and we are all sleeping when all of a sudden that Elmo car starts singing out loud and start making all the noises, and I wake up my husband and I told him to listen to the toys, listen to the car. Just threw the toy outside, okay? Stop singing. Next morning, he's already gone. I wake up, I go to the restroom, and I end up seeing that I had two holes on my ear, and there were 3 different earrings, 2 on one hole and the other one over here, and one of my ears. I was, like I said, yes, I get scared, but I try to find logic in everything. Okay, the Elmo that I was telling you about, I was working as a medical assistant. My mom was Ethan's babysitter. So every morning I would leave my house around 8:30 and come back around 7 p.m. to make my dinner. And, after I pick up the baby, I chit chat with my mom. 7 p.m. I was already back home. My house was a garage that it was part of this big house. And on the big house, the owners, who were very, very nice, live right there. They loved Ethan so much. There were 3 brothers, two brothers, one sister. So the girl comes to me and tells me, Liz, what did you have in the window? And I said, why? She says, well, I went to hang my wet clothes because she had this big lines where she was hanging stuff sometimes. And I thought that Ethan was by the window. That's his room, right? And I said, yes, that's his room, but his crib is not there. And she says, well, there was somebody moving the blinds, and I thought it was Ethan. So me wanted to say hi to your baby, went to the window, and when the blinds open, I see these big two eyes, and I freaked out. I dropped the clothes and I ran to my house. I said, well, the only thing I have is Ethan's dresser, and I have his Sesame Street toys. And I remember I have the huge Elmo doll. What I did, I got rid of him. Did the problem stop? In fact, it stopped. Be careful when you guys buy stuff at the yard sales. Okay? Guys, don't believe it. Be careful. I know many of you guys have kids. I've been there, I've done that. We go to a yard sale. They love toys. Okay? Just be careful what you purchase. So I put the acrylic, like you guys are seeing it. It don't seem that nice because the light is not helping me. But once this dries, I'm gonna put a clear acrylic on top of it. And then I'm going to put diamonds. So they're very simple. I like them long. And I'm the kind of one that if you're gonna put something that shows. So that's why I like them long. You guys take a look at my videos. I survive a haunted house. I'm gonna skip all the story because what happens next is gonna chill you more. When we moved out of the house, we went to live to one of his uncles. We came back to our little hometown. So one of my friends, after 3-4 months, she moved out of this garage. I always live in garage, you guys. So she moved out, and she told the owner that somebody was interested in living on the garage, and so I didn't have to go to the deposit or anything. And as soon as we move in, on the next day, Ethan comes to me. Ethan is 3 years old, comes to me and my husband and tells me, I don't want to sleep in the room because there's a man looking at me. My husband and I look at each other. We didn't say anything, and we went with him. I said, where? He says, right there. He's right there. He's like this, and he's looking at me. And I asked Ethan, is he mad? And he says, no, he's not mad. He's just looking. Who is he? I didn't know what to tell my kid. So luckily we all sleep together. It was only one little room. We were all sleeping together. And this is the time where I got hired at Kmart. At Kmart, there was a girl, two of them, the manager and then another cashier, who became friends with me. And they happened to be nieces of this lady from the garage, the owner of the garage. So I told them, oh, you guys don't know where I'm living. Guess where I'm living? I'm living at your auntie's Lupe's house, and she's pretty cool. And I mean, my kids are so happy. Ethan was 3, Amor Chiquito was 1. Jessie tells me, oh my God, my Aunt Lupe, she's very nice. You're gonna like her. She likes to talk a lot. We haven't seen her since the funeral. And I said, who died? She said, her husband died. We have friends in there, and he just passed away. He had a heart attack, and I guess it was something big. And he used to love being there, so he passed away. And we haven't visited my aunt. I look at the two of them. I didn't say anything because I had to prove my point. And I go home. I told my husband what happened. He looked at me like, don't start. And I said, I'm not starting anything. I don't have to start anything. You know, it comes by itself. So her daughter lived next to me, and I told her what happened. She goes, grab her wedding album, start going through the photos, ask my son if he recognizes somebody. He point a gentleman with big Pancho Villa mustache, and he says, "Did you know him?" My hair's all up. And he says, "Is this the man that was in your room?" And Ethan is like, me and my husband, we look at each other. Lupe was there, and Lupe says, "All the neighbors have seen him. I want to see him, but he don't come to me." What do you guys think? That was our welcome into the place. We have our dog Rocco. We're living with Lupe. We're happy because we can get to have our Shar-Pei. And my Shar-Pei is having glaucoma, so he already lost his sight from one eye. And he used to be on this little patio. This garage, we really love it because it also had a little patio with a little fence that was completely for Rocco. Okay? One night, Rocco starts barking at around 3:10 a.m. I wake up because Rocco never bothers. He was such a good dog. And I hear Rocco is crying. Rocco is howling and whining. So I wake up and I go and talk to Rocco. What's going on? You know, okay. My husband was doing construction. And I find out through my sister-in-law that they saw a ghost. If you guys are in the California area, there's a place called Apple Valley. And I think it's the 15 freeway. Going to Apple Valley, there's an exit called Statter's Wells Road. There's nothing. It reminds me of the movie Cars, where McQueen comes out of Max and he starts going crazy. There's no lights, there's nothing. So he's trying to find his way back to the freeway, and he ended up in this little town. They were looking for this little town by Statter's Wells. There was nothing. It was April 11, 2011 at 3:10 a.m. So they're looking for the place, and my husband, my brother-in-law's driving the truck. It was a construction truck. My husband is on the passenger seat. They go all the way. They make a U-turn to come back and see if there's any little street. And they see a tall guy, probably 7 feet, completely naked. Of course, they laughed because they thought this one is very high. He's drunk. What the hell, you know, he's completely naked. And he's white, completely light skinned. They pass him and they said that the guy just went like that without even looking at them. He just went like that. And they were laughing. They go all the way. When they make the U-turn, the guy was in front of them. My brother-in-law stopped the truck because he didn't want to run him over. They get to see his body. They get to see everything. And they said that he was bleeding from the mouth. He started banging the front of the truck, kind of like to make them come out of the car. My brother-in-law is completely panicked. He's not reacting, and my husband's reaction was looking to the floor. So he kind of like react and slap his brother, and they were out of the place. They stopped at this gas station. I don't have the directions, but they told me there's a gas station really inside that little place because there's completely nothing. And they find the other people from the company, and they didn't do nothing that day. My brother-in-law um, had this shock. He got fever. He was very, very bad. He didn't sleep for about 2-3 weeks because he keeps seeing this. And my husband stopped watching all kinds of scary stuff. When they told me the story, I'm asking him, what time was it? What happened? Where was it? And he's telling me, well, it was around 3 in the morning. And my point is, did Rocco feel this? Did he feel that his owner was in danger? Did he woke me up because I'm sensitive? I don't know, you guys. I don't know, you guys. But it was something pretty scary. Of course, when they went back home, they passed back with the daylight to see that there was nothing. There's only bushes. There's no way he couldn't come out of where. And even if he was drunk or high, why was he bleeding like that? Why was he gigantic? Why was he trying to make them come out of the car? When you're asking for help, you don't do that. There was nobody chasing him. He just came out of nowhere. Are you guys entertaining? I haven't talked about it in a while, but whenever I talk about it, it still gives me goosebumps. After this, let's find a logic. We're gonna change the subject because I want you guys to sleep, but I am. You're like, no, we're in paranormal, because I have DMs like, no. Fine. I had a friend. I don't really know the whole story, okay? Just know what I heard, and I never get to ask her husband who committed suicide. I find out when they were already gone. I came out on her wedding, and I was going through all this, and that was the last thing that I needed. No, she did not came, but I was afraid that it might happen. The only thing that happened to me once was that after her passing, one day I was sitting on my car, kind of like going through all the memories that we had. She did hair. Sometimes she did my hair in her home. And a very nice lady. I have to be honest, all my friends in life had been older people. I don't know why. I was sitting on my car. I came back from work. I was very stressed. I was thinking about what happened. Because when you find out about something like this, it's like, oh, she died. What happened? She's sick, car accident. What happened? No, suicide. It was like, I don't know the whole thing. So that was ruled as a suicide. I'm remembering her. I'm going through all these memories, when all of a sudden there's a butterfly that comes inside my car. I have my window down, comes inside my car and stands on the wheel. Yeah, you can get a bug inside your car. You can get flies. But one thing is having the butterfly on the wheel, and one thing is having the butterfly come to your finger if you ask to. I say my good vibes. And that was it. When I was little, I used to have this dream very often about a part of Mazatlan that I never ever visited. This is a deja vu. If you guys know what it means, please let me know. And I will be on this part of the beach. on the streets, and I would be on this car and as a passenger seat, because I never get to see who drives the car. I never get to see who is driving the car. But I was always carrying different people with me. And then there's a hill in Mazatlan when there's a college. And you have to go around that college through different little streets to end up on the other side of the hill and come back to another part of the beach where you guys cannot bathe, but there's boats and there's the big lighthouse and stuff like that, very famous in Mazatlan. And I never been to that part because, like I said, my grandma was a very, very old lady who did not took us by herself. Okay, if my mom was not there, so I was always having the same dream, same dream. I go in this car, I'm the passenger, somebody's driving, I don't get to see who's driving, and there's more people in the back. We go on the hill, and instead of going around the streets, the hills continues. We pass through this college, around, I mean, in front of it, where there's no way. And then once it's going downhill, there is lightning, there is black clouds, and all of a sudden the sea starts coming out to the streets. There's fireballs, there's the water start coming inside the car, and this is the part when everybody is fighting to live. Next thing I know, I wake up on this other side, way before this, hill, and I'm completely wet. The streets are normal. There's daylight. There's beautiful daylight, and I'm alive. There's nobody else with me. It's just me. And I'm in front of this statue that I'm gonna put a picture to you guys where I wake up. And I can hear the cars, I can hear the sea, I can hear everything. And when I look to where the hill is all the way down there, I could see the black sky, the clouds, and the lightning. So it made me seem like I came from there. I came out of there. And I'm on the day side, on the light side again. When I came here, I was 13. And after 6 years, almost 7, when I finally got my green card, I went back to Mexico. I met this guy who was very nice to me. He was my friend Hugo. Hugo had a motorcycle. And one day, he went to my house, asked my nana if I could go have dinner with him because everybody was guarding me so bad. And my nana's like Hugo, so she says, that's fine. Just take care of her. My nana didn't know Hugo had a motorcycle, or else she would say no. We go to have dinner. He bought me an ice cream by the beach. We were having dinner, me and him. He was telling me about his life. And my thought is, Hugo, would you do me a favor? And he says, fine. Would you take me there? He says, sure. You want me to give you a tour, get in the motorcycle? We'll go all the way. Kind of like the Pacific High Coast, the Pacific Coast Highway, okay? Like that. But of course, it's prettier. So I go there with Hugo. We go on the hill around the college because it's not like my dream when you go straight, but you have to go around. And when I'm coming down, everything is completely calm. Calm. It's quiet. There's the lighthouse. It's about 11 p.m. I was 19 years old, and we sat there eating junk food and I was talking to Hugo about my dream. I stopped having that dream since that day. All the time that I was away from Mazatlan, I keep dreaming the same thing and the same thing with different passengers. I don't really know what it meant, but I know that I had to be there. And that's what I did. Thanks to Hugo, who took me out, I had the chance to go there with no questions. And find out if there was something waiting for me. And I get to see a part of Mazatlan that I never seen. And luckily, all my nightmares stopped happening since there. Have you guys saw something like that before? Well, I did, and I finally faced it. And luckily, there was nothing bad there. So have you seen this? Hello, hello, Hugo. Because Hugo was learning English too. And I haven't seen him in a while. So he was amazed telling me to tell him English words. My Mazatlan people wants to learn English and my California people wants to learn Spanish. And I am happy to do both. I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm gonna file all this and then I'm gonna let you see the results. So today is the next day. I'm sorry you guys, but my battery ran out and I didn't want to charge my cell phone. We chit chat a lot and I really enjoy it. These are my nails. So as you can see, they're long, like the way I like them. These are considered medium size, so I'm going to put them on a better light so you take a look at how they look. So I hope you guys enjoy my paranormal stories. As you guys can see, I have plenty of them and I've been the witness of a lot of them. Luckily, my mom always believed in me and I didn't have to be frustrated like the kids at the movies, at the horror movies. Next, I'm gonna upload more for you guys. If you like this theme, I see on my DMs and like, no, we like paranormal. I know you guys do. I like it too, but right now, I mean, it was a long video. So thank you guys for watching. Today is the next day. I'm going to the postal office to take some stuff that I need to send out, and I had to do some online shopping, so I'm kind of like helping from here, and I'm always keeping an eye on them. And you guys take care, and don't forget to subscribe. My name is Lizzie Maravilla. You guys know it. Thank you so much for those of you guys who are subscribing, and for those of you guys returning, this kiss is for you. You guys take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.